After a coma, I realized I was just an ATM for my wife. I left, and she didn't even notice for 10 days, and then accidentally revealed her affair. I am 35 was married to my wife F35 for 8 years. I left her 5 years ago. We are child-free by choice, her choice. I had always said we had a good relationship and marriage, but looking back I see that it was good for her. Here is my story. I've always been the nerdy type. Smart, good grades, but never popular. I am from a very well-off family. Due to my grandparents' inheritance and some smart investments my parents did, I did not have to go to college or work and still have a comfortable life. But I love what I did. I met my wife my first year in college. She was in my class and was looking for a tutor. She was a scholarship kid. We spent more and more time together. But never in the weekend. I wasn't the outgoing type and she would still go out in the weekend. After a while we started going on dates, and after I graduated we got married. Looking back she started making decisions for us as soon as we got together. My wife worked the first half of our marriage, and when her company downsized she got laid off. She became a stay-at-home wife, who was not at home that much. She had friends she took trips with, had a lot of lunches and dinners with her friends. Basically spend my money on her well-off lifestyle. While I remember our love life being passionate in the beginning, it's just that, a memory. When I was 29 I was involved in a car crash. They say a drunk driver totaled my car, but I still have no memory of that day. I was in a coma for 2 weeks. After waking up I had to learn to do a lot again. After 4 months I went back to work. When I came back home my wife put me in the spare room. She said it has been like that a while because I was snoring. I kept my mouth shut, but I knew that this was new. The accident somehow gave me clarity of mind. I could see that the marriage has been over for a while. But I still wanted to see if I could save it. Everything I tried failed. What sealed the deal for me was my 30th birthday. I came home and she was not home. She was having a spa day with her friends. I ordered takeout, watched a movie and made a decision. I wanted out. The next morning I went to my lawyer to start drafting divorce papers. I stopped engaging with her unless absolutely necessary. Slowly I started selling anything that had any emotional value to me. I left all her stuff for her. I bought a new car and left it at a parking garage not so far from our home. 1 month later all I had left were my clothes and a couple of laptops, projector, portable screen. Everything I needed to work from the road. I did not quit my job. I arranged for it to be completely remote. 2 months after my birthday I stayed while my wife was at just another lunch with her girls. I took the new car, packed everything I needed in it, left the divorce papers and a letter on my bed in the spare room and closed the door to my house for the last time. Wondering how long it would take for her to notice. I decided to drive cross-country and visit every place I wanted to go but couldn't because my wife didn't want to. We had a prenup so she had no rights to ask anything. In the letter I explained I told her I was leaving, and I would leave her the house and the car, and would pay a sum every month for exactly a year after that she was on her own. In my own stupidity I forgot to mention why I was leaving. This would work out in my favor. 10 days after I left I got a text from my wife asking me where I was and if this was a joke. She called me but I didn't pick up. I never pick up the phone while driving. I had an automated text send that said, "I'm driving and will call back later." She sent me text after text after text. That night I stopped in a motel and decided to read the texts before calling her back. First she was asking if this was a joke, then asking when I will come back, then begging me to come back, not knowing why I left, and then she said something. She was sorry and it didn't mean anything and she will cut him off. She was having an affair. Something I never suspected. I called her cell phone and she was at her parents'. I learned this tactic from TV. She started yelling at me and I hung up. I waited 1 minute and called back. She started yelling again and I hung up again. I waited 2 minutes and called back again. This time she wasn't yelling and I started talking. I told her that she was going to let me talk first and after I said what I needed to say and then she could ask questions. I told her why I left. We were married but living like roommates, not even roommates because they at least acknowledge each other. I don't remember the last time we had a conversation. The last time we did something together. I didn't remember the last time we got intimate, but I know it was before the accident. I told her that for a month before leaving I stopped talking and sold everything I had in the house and she didn't even notice. That it took her 10 days after I left before she noticed I was gone. If she had called me on the day I left I would have turned around immediately. I ended with, "Thank you for admitting to the affair, I really didn't know about that." She tried to apologize and when she asked me to come back, I asked her why. If she could explain to me why, I would consider it. What was in it for me? What would change? She couldn't answer. So I said goodbye and told her my lawyer knows how to contact me. Then I blocked her. The next day I bought a new phone with a new number and left the old one in the motel. 2 weeks later I got an email from my lawyer that the divorce papers were signed. I was free. I kept my word. My lawyer already had all documents signed by me that would transfer ownership of the house and the cars to her. The bank automatically deposits a fixed amount to our shared account every month for a year. Where we are now. For the past 5 years I have been driving across the country, working remotely. I finally had a reason to start social media. I posted online where I've been and where I'm going. I stay in a place for a couple of weeks and drive to the next. My ex-wife started following me on Instagram a year after I left, and out of curiosity I looked at her public posts. I'm not planning on following her back. She posted pics with her boyfriend soon after I left. To her credit, she did not badmouth me, at least not on Instagram. 2 months after I left they apparently broke up. That was the last time I really had an update of her. I also have a bedroom life now. Once I put myself out there it turned out to be easier to have casual hookups. No committed relationship. Now after years I'm going back to my hometown. There is a reunion I want to attend. I'm staying for a month, maybe 2, and then I'm going to Canada. I have no plans of looking up my ex, but I will also not actively avoid her. If I see her, I'll see her. If I don't, I don't. Relevant comments. What tactic did you learn from TV? OP. The tactic of hanging up till she stopped screaming. That is something I got from a TV show. Comment. You're from money, but sleep in a motel, and when you change your number, you leave a whole phone behind. Nice story. OP. Money or no money, if you are unprepared, you sleep where you can get a bed. I've slept in motel, Airbnbs, average hotels, even in guest rooms of people I've met. I don't go to luxury hotels, they make me uncomfortable. And yes, I bought new phone, got a new number and left the old one behind. It a way of leaving the one way she had to contact me behind. Comment. Other than your accident, did you have any other memory loss from the coma? It's surprising to me that she put you in another bedroom and lied about that. Why would she think she can get away with that? OP. The whole week before the accident is blurry and the day of the accident is gone. I had also forgotten that my mother died 3 years before that. For the rest, I really don't remember what I have forgotten. I've said that sentence so many times, it never gets old. Update. Answering some questions, a few things that were already answered in the comments. People have asked me and even berated me for leaving her the house. The answer is actually very simple. I wanted to leave. I made up my mind that I was going to travel and didn't want anything tying me down. Selling the house would have taken too long, leaving it to her was the fastest option. Additionally, my conscience wouldn't have allowed it. She might not be a good person, but I try to be one. Leaving her homeless would have weighed heavily on me. Remember, there's a reason I married her, because I did love her at one time. About my work. I've been working remotely for the past 5 years. 3 years ago, I switched jobs to a new company and position, still remote. There was never a necessity to come into an office. I've invested in a satellite internet connection, yes, provided by the company. Now I have high-speed internet everywhere I go. I have KPIs that I need to reach every 2 weeks. I can set my own working hours, as long as I meet the KPIs. About Canada. I'm not migrating to Canada, just visiting. I visit one place for a few weeks, then move to the next, and repeat. People have been asking for my social media. I'm not going to share it. I came here for the anonymity. I still have a lot of people I know who don't need to hear the story. My social media has been private for a couple of years now. Only extended friends and family are my followers. When my ex-wife started following, I didn't know much about the privacy settings back then. Now I do, and I never bothered to remove her as a follower. About the divorce being smooth. Listen, when I said she signed the papers, that didn't mean everything was said and done. I said I'm free because I felt free. The divorce proceedings still took some time, and when you have a good lawyer and you are traveling, court sessions can be done over Zoom. While it was relatively fast, it certainly wasn't 2 weeks. So, her signing the papers was the moment I felt free, not the divorce being finalized. This is real, this is how my life changed. But I can't force people to believe it. So, to those who want to believe it's fiction, hope you enjoyed the read. P.S. Some people made some Reacher comparisons. I just found out there is a TV show, I only knew the movies. Looks like I've got 2 seasons to catch up on. Update 2. So I met my ex-wife. Or let's rephrase that. We ran into each other. Or rather, she ran into me. I was at a cafe and had just ordered lunch when a woman took a seat at my table. She looked at me in disbelief and said something like, "It's really you." I must have looked puzzled. Then she said, "You don't recognize me, do you?" I took a closer look and recognized her. She looks different. Her hair is different in style and color. She's wearing glasses again. The last time I remember, she was in college, and she had modest makeup in contrast to the tons of makeup she used to wear. I'm not going to lie, she looked beautiful. She wanted to catch up. I planned on being cordial, so I told her we could have lunch together, but that I had plans afterward. So I had her join me for lunch. Here's what I learned. Most of her friends left her because she couldn't afford their luxury spa days, lunches, trips, etc. She sold the house and now lives in an apartment. She has a job now, and that's where she met the guy she's seeing currently. She has a good life now, and it's normal, not extravagant. I know Reddit wants me to hate her and enact some kind of nuclear revenge. But I don't need that. We won't be friends, but that doesn't mean we have to be enemies. Yes, I paid for lunch, and yes, I gave her a hug goodbye afterwards. I'm not giving her my contact information, but I did add her back on Instagram. I think that's enough. Also, I got an invitation to go to a small country in South America by a remote coworker who found my story here. Seriously considering it. I mean, the food. He suggested driving through his country. It's not a big country, so it would only take a couple of weeks. He's a biker, and I don't know how to ride one, so I'd just follow him and his girlfriend with a car. Another post. 1 month later. Ex-wife asked if we still have a chance. Well, the title says it all. I am not allowed to post links, but if you want the backstory, just look at my post history. I've been in my hometown for a few weeks now, and have met my ex-wife a few times. None of this was planned. Some mutual friends organized some get-togethers and we were both invited. I know for a fact that the first friend that invited us both did it to stir up drama. But this was after X and I had already had lunch together. So there was no drama. Ironically, I think that for others that was a sign that because there would be no drama we could both be invited. Like I said, I am cordial with her. We talked a little, but I spend most of my time catching up with other friends. Last Saturday, after some mingling at a friend's get-together, we ended up talking on the balcony. Long story short, she asked if there was still a chance for us. I told her honestly that if our relationship had started genuine and not because of the money, there would have been a chance now. But she will never be able to convince me that it wasn't all about the money from the very start. So no, there is no chance for a relationship. I'm leaving in a few weeks, so best chance we have is long-distance Instagram friends. We're not going to be friends, but we don't have to be enemies. Also, for those that read the previous post, the trip to that small country in South America is on. It's not my next destination, planning it for later this year, and it will be my first trip outside of the US. A fellow digital nomad has expressed interest to join me, so I'm meeting up with her first. She'll be my passenger princess for a few weeks, and if it clicks she'll join me to South America. Relevant comments. She cheated, and isn't she with a boyfriend when you had the sit down, so she was willing to leave him for you or cheat. Honestly, you're best out on the open road without her. I would never trust her. If any of your friends are trying to encourage you get back together, just block them. They're not friends. They shouldn't want that type of person for you. OP. Nobody knows about the cheating. I only learned about the cheating when I was already gone. All the friends know is that we got divorced because I was tired of being her ATM. And I've been gone 5 years. She has stayed for those years. She is still in the social circles, and I'm the guy that is visiting after 5 years. Of course we are invited to the same events. Nobody is trying to get us back together. If they are doing a lousy job. I don't know if it is clear, but the girl that I'm going on the road with is someone different. That is not my ex-wife. Comment. Doesn't she have a boyfriend? OP. Yes. To be honest, I had completely forgot about him. She only mentioned him that first lunch. Never met him. Comment. Passenger princess. What does that mean? OP. As she describes it, someone who loves to take long trips in the passenger seat. She loves the road trip, she hates to drive. Comment. Has she explained her actions? OP. Not to me, but to be honest, I haven't asked. I'm not blocking her on my socials, but she doesn't need my other contact info. Update 3. And I'm gone on Sunday, maybe Monday. I was going to stay 2 more weeks, but I got bored. I told my friends here that I'm cutting the visit short. I was going to leave today, but they convinced me to have a going away party this Saturday. And I'll be leaving Sunday. Monday if I have a hangover. The friends asked if they could invite my ex-wife. I told them only if she brings her boyfriend. Now you may wonder why I said that. There is only one reason, and it is not the reason you think it is. If her boyfriend is at the party, she will not be so clingy. I am okay with making small talk, but I don't want her to try to hold me arm again, get me alone on the balcony, etc., etc. And I'm hoping the presence of her boyfriend is going to get her to behave. I also told the guys they have been good to me, so while they organize, I'll pay. Yes, I gave them a spending limit. I do not want a whole Aladdin parade with elephants and monkeys. Although, monkeys could be fun. I contacted the passenger princess. She needs a good nickname. Princess Peach. From now on I'll call her Peach. Like I said, I contacted Peach and told her the new timeline. She is excited and I will see her on Wednesday. I think I'll blast Peaches by Jack Black on the speakers when I drive up to her. Just for the confused look on her face. Visiting home was great, but the road is calling. Final update. Not sure how much more I will be posting. This may be the last ever. The saga of the ex-wife has come to an end and everything is back where it should be. I know a lot of people are going to be disappointed in me. But you do what you do, and I'll do what I do. I might come back to town in 5 years for the next reunion. Saturday morning, a mutual friend of my ex and I took me to see my ex-wife. Tricked me actually, she did not tell me where we were going. The ex is not doing well. She was faking it all this time. After selling the house she blew through the money. She was never really good in money management. And trying to uphold her lifestyle without the same income as before, she blew through the money. She is now in a small apartment, has been single for a while, works minimum wage, and in order to fake it for my sake she had to sell a lot of things. We had a talk about it and she confessed she did it so that I would not feel guilty for how it turned out for her. Following me on social media, she started to feel guilty for what she did in our marriage. For the whole reason she married me. And now she did not want me to feel sorry for her. Because she got what she deserved. Because she knew I would want to do something to help her get back on her feet. Asking me if we still had a chance a while ago was a moment her mask fell off. And her friend also knew it, that's why she took me to the ex to see the truth. And here is the part where people are going to be disappointed in me. I did help her. While her intentions to get married were all financial, mine weren't. I married her because I loved her. So yes, I helped the woman I used to love, because that is the way I am. It was the day before I left, so there was not much I could really do. I've already sent an email to the HR department of a couple of companies I've done projects for. In the coming days, I'm going to use my pull to get her a better job in the field she studied for. I'm not giving her money, that would be the easiest way to fail. This is a better way of help. She did not want my help, but she is getting it anyway. The going away party was nice, and after our talk that morning my ex-wife's presence was pleasant. I have decided to stay in contact with my ex-wife. Not only socials but also personal email and messaging. She was wrong in what she did, but she has shown remorse. We will never return to how we were, but I want to see if we can be long-distance friends. Not close friends, but still friends. I left today at noon. After a 6-hour drive, I'm in a motel now. The whole drive I was listening to the audiobook, Killing Floor. This is the first Reacher book. Thanks to Redditors comparing me to Reacher, I'm now mildly obsessed with Reacher. So that's where we've ended. My life is great, my ex-wife isn't doing good, but I'm helping her. I'm on the road again and will meet Peach on Wednesday. Work a few days and then Peach and I will go on the road on Monday. That was the last post about this saga, and unless something really interesting happens, this is my last post here. Have a safe journey. Relevant comments. After all this years she played you like a fiddle again. Not sure if I should laugh or cry or even believe this whole thing. OP. So you think she played me and all she got out of it is a lunch, a couple of drinks and a better job. And I got closure. If she did play me, I still think I got the better outcome. Comment. Happy travel mate. Did you ex ever apologize for explain her affairs? OP. Ex-wife did apologize for how she was during the marriage. Not for specific things, just a general apology. And I'm okay with that. She was willing to explain, but seeing her broken already, I let her keep her dignity, and not have her relive her mistakes and wrongdoings. Her admitting fault and the apology was all I needed for closure. Small update on the ex-wife. She has a new job that will change her life. She deserves this job. It is within the field she studied. In the interview she was honest about being a stay-at-home wife for a while. Which meant she would get a probationary period with training and courses, and based on the results of the courses they would give her a contract. She nailed it. She now has a full-time high-paying job. I opened a few doors for her, she stepped through them herself.